Jadeja deliver when it matters? Maybe. But with both Stuart Binney and Akshar Patel breathing down his neck, time is running out for him to stand up and be counted.
But Mr. Chappell, to you about this particular issue that we are about to discuss, when it comes to Ravindra Jadeja, you have always spoken about him as a bits and pieces player and how you would perhaps prefer an Akshar Patel over Jadeja in the playing 11 when it comes to Team India. Dhoni at the press conference made it clear that the team has a lot of confidence and a lot of faith in Jadeja, but he still has to deliver. What's your take on the team's attitude towards Ravindra Jadeja?
Well, he wouldn't be in my team. As I said, I think that Patel is a better bowler. I think he's more of a wicket-taking option. And everyone keeps talking about the runs that Jadeja can produce at number 7, but he hasn't done it yet. I mean, if it comes down to temperament, I think there's a huge gap between the temperament of R. Ashwin and Jadeja. I think R. Ashwin is the sort of cricketer who produces when you need it. I haven't really seen that from Jadeja. And as I say, all along I'd have been playing Patel because I think he's more of a wicket-taking option. I think Ashwin, on what I've seen, he could bat at 7. I guess if they don't want to play, if they're worried about runs from the middle to lower order, then they might, if they get rid of Jadeja, they've got two choices. They go to Patel as a wicket-taking option, or if they're worried about the runs, I guess they could put Stuart Binney in there as to give them a few overs and to get them some runs. But I just like the idea of Patel. I think you've got to have confidence in your top 6 batsmen getting most of the runs. You don't want to be relying on your the bottom half of the order to be getting you a lot of runs. They're there to get the wickets. So that's the way I'd be going. But they seem to have more faith in Jadeja than I do.
Vivyas, what's your take on this? Would you say that that number 7 position that Ravindra Jadeja occupies currently is perhaps the weak link in the team structure?
Yeah, he's not performing. And 18 runs from 4 innings definitely shows that he's not performing to his potential with the bat. But we know what Jadeja can do with the bat. I just remember the Lord's Test match, the counter-attacking innings he played, and suddenly he got the team in a winning position from which India actually won the Test match. He's got the potential. MS Dhoni himself mentioned that he's got hope, but hope has to be translated into performance. In fact, yesterday in one of when I was doing commentary for Star Sports, I told that Akshar Patel has done really well leading up to the World Cup with the ball. So Jadeja has to realize that he's playing ahead of Akshar Patel just because the team management feels that he's got the potential to get more runs than Jadeja. And because Dhoni was not in the best of form, you require someone at number 7 who can come and bat. Ashwin at number 7, then I think the batting will not look as strong as Jadeja at 7 and 8 Ashwin. So I think it is important, and probably the next 2 games will be a great opportunity for Jadeja to get some runs under his belt, have the confidence going into the knockouts. But Dhoni made a very valid point, is that he is struggling to short pitch deliveries. He, along with Suresh Raina, both of them have got a problem, and technical problem facing the short pitch deliveries. But they have to find a method. It's not, they cannot just come and say that I cannot play the short pitch delivery and I can only perform in subcontinent conditions. They should be expecting bowlers to target them with short pitch deliveries, but they have to have a solution for that. And Jadeja is a capable batsman. It's just about him realizing and thinking like a batsman, which I'm not sure he's doing that at the moment.
Right, of course, when it comes to the skipper, MS Dhoni, he's made his thoughts amply clear. When he was asked what about the bench strength, will we get to see them in the remaining matches against the Minnows? His answer at the press conference was, let the bench strength warm the bench. Well, now let's switch our focus to the 2 results on Saturday. The first one saw a resurgent Pakistan beat one of the pre-tournament favourites, South Africa.
This is why Pakistan are called unpredictable. They have beaten one of the pre-tournament favourites, South Africa, by 29 runs. Former Pakistan skipper Wasim Akram tweeted, Team Green back with a bang. Glenn McGrath tweeted, an amazing win to Pakistan over South Africa. They did incredibly well to defend 222. Batting first, it was once again Misbah-ul Haq who stood tall, scoring his 42nd ODI 50. And he also completed 5,000 ODI runs, incredibly without a single century. But the rest of the team didn't do much. Pakistan in fact lost their last 5 wickets for just 10 runs, bowled out for 222. Quinton de Kock flopped again. His stats in the 2015 World Cup reading an ugly 7-7-12-1-0. Pakistan kept attacking, reducing the Proteas to 77 for 5. Once again, skipper A.B. de Villiers stood tall amidst the ruins. A sensational 77 of 58 balls saw de Villiers reach 1,000 World Cup runs in 20 innings. He also now holds the record for the most World Cup career sixes at 32. But once the Proteas skipper fell with 32 runs still left to make, it was all but over for South Africa. Sarfaraz Ahmed took a World Cup record equaling 6 catches behind the stumps. Pakistan beating South Africa by 29 runs in an absolute thriller.
All right, that was the first match of the day. Meanwhile, in the second match, Ireland managed to defend 331 literally by the skin of their teeth. Ed Joyce scored 103 ball 112 and was adjudged the man of the match. Zimbabwe got to 326 in 49.3 overs, falling just 6 runs short of the target. All right, so let's take a look at what the points table in Pool B now looks like after these 2 matches. India, of course, have already qualified for the quarterfinals. Ireland are now behind Pakistan and South Africa, but only on net run rate. And they have played 1 match less than those 2 teams. But their 2 remaining games are versus India and Pakistan. What Ireland's win has done is, of course, put West Indies under tremendous pressure. All right, our 2 experts still on with us. Mr. Chappell, was it an extremely surprising result for you, Pakistan beating South Africa?
Well, right from the start, I didn't think South Africa were as strong as a lot of other people think. But I must admit I wasn't expecting the Pakistan side to beat them. But I've thought all along that South Africa are beatable. I don't think their attack is as strong as everyone thinks. And their batting, particularly when they're chasing, I think that's their big problem.
Right.
Chasing, they're very vulnerable. If they're setting the target, then they're very dangerous. But I think South Africa still they'll be around the mark, but. And the problem they've got now is they've shown they're beatable with India beating them, now Pakistan beating them. Right. And once you show that you're a little bit vulnerable, that tends to, other sides tend to get a bit more confidence when they're playing against you. So South Africa need to, they need to buck up a little bit. I expect them to. I would be surprised if they didn't make the semi-finals, but I'm not sure if they'll go any further.
Right, there's of course a chance that South Africa might play Australia in the semi-finals if they can make it to the Final Four. VVS, last word to you, keeping the Pakistan and the Ireland results in mind, would you say Pool B has become much more exciting now?
I think, yeah, much more exciting, and I feel that West Indies will be under tremendous pressure, and I think West Indies will be ruining the fact that how they lost to South Africa with such a big margin. Yeah, they gave 400 runs, but they, they were bowled out for less than 150 runs. I think that net run rate, really got a beating in that match. But having said that, I think Ireland is playing good cricket. West Indies will be under tremendous pressure. I will back Pakistan to beat Ireland in their game. But it is a tough competition for that 3rd and 4th place. And I feel that Pakistan have already qualified. Yep. It will be between West Indies and Ireland, and the net run rate will play a huge part in that.
Right. All right, unfortunately, we've completely run out of time. We'll have to leave it at that. Mr. Ian Chappell, VVS Lakshman, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Of course, they'll be with us through the World Cup. It's time now for us to slip into a very short break on the show, but stay tuned. On the other side, Saina Nehwal is in her first All-England final.
Turning point.